In this video, we will see what are the different benefits that we can able to get from the IED Scout in offline. To start with, I will just open the IED Scout software application, which I installed on my PC. So the offline functionality is applicable for both trial and the permanent license of IED Scout that you have in your PC. After IED Scout open, this is how the home screen looks like, and the minimal user interface simplify the different functionality that is available in the IED Scout that you can able to see in the top level with the 6 different icons. Like any other Omicron softwares, it's important to start from the help section where we can able to get very good clarity about the application usage, also the different terms and definition, also the main application that we can able to see in the top level that are applicable for the IED Scout version 5.11. And here you can able to see the IED Scout software application installed on a PC, and now the IED Scout software license is also available in a cybersecure hardware. But we will see the PC license benefits in this particular video, and here you can able to see the IED Scout install PC could able to subscribe the goose message, and we can able to validate the goose control block which are published from the real ID or the simulated SEL files. And you can also able to publish the goose control block with full potential. Then you can also see the client server communication support is also available in the IED Scout. You can able to simulate an MMS server, and you can also able to use IED Scout as a 650 MMS client for the real MMS servers, the physical IDs, also the simulated MMS servers. And you can also able to use IED Scout sniffer tool to monitor the client server traffic, also the Goose application and services. And you can also able to find the TCP errors when you're working with the 640 base substation related to the MMS and Goose applications. So you can also able to see generally the IED Scout can be connected to the station network, also the process bus network, where you can able to have the MMS supported IED, so the Goose application enable in your 650 setting in the different IEDs. So you can able to start from the process level devices. So we have the switchgear control units, in short we do call SEUs. Then sometimes you also have the standalone merging unit, and most of the standalone merging unit only support the sample value services, but in the 650 base environment it's also good to have the MMS server support. In that case you can able to discover both SEUs, because the SEUs used to support the MMS protocol, also the Goose services, the protocols, and you can also even access the merging unit if the merging unit is having the MMS server support in it. And sometimes you can combine both merging unit, also the switchgear controlling functionality in a single ID. In that case, you can able to browse basically discover the MMS server with the IED Scout client application functionality. Coming back to the bay level, where you can able to have the protection control and metering IDs, and the protection control IDs used to deal or share the information from bay level to the station level using the client server communication, and these are the IDs we do call as a MMS server, and we can able to enable the MMS server with the client application using the IED Scout, and you can also able to subscribe the Goose messages which are published from the protection ID, which are used for tripping and event triggering and many other special protection applications. Also the interlock is one of the key application from the switchgear control unit, also the bay control unit that are available in the bay level. And sometimes you also have the metering devices, basically BCUs used to send the metering data to the SCADA HMI for monitoring purpose. So those reports can also be occupied by the IED Scout. Then you can able to even control the tab position. If you have the dedicated function in the B control int, also the separate IED for monitoring the transformer inputs, and also the set point control for the tab changer. In short, the IED Scout can be used as a client, MMS client, also MMS server, by simulating an SCL file. Then you can also use IED Scout as a Goose publisher, so Goose subscriber for validating the Goose control block that are published by the Goose publisher in the real network. Also, you can able to use sniffer for monitoring the client server and Goose application traffic. And the basis for IEDScout, you need to provide the SCL file as an input file, and you can also able to collect the SCL file from the device when you connect your PC to the network online. So in that case, you can able to discover the ID with an IP address. You can able to collect the SCL files, which can be used for different applications. For testing the protection, we need the Goose messages, which are published via protection ID, the protection start and trip information that you can able to capture, and you can able to also import into the different test modules like Goose configuration test module, also the client server test module for testing the different type of report control blocks. And you can also use client server for polling the values without disturbing the existing client. And you can also apply the SCL file which are collected by the IEDScout to different test sets like Genio for subscribing the Goose messages. And you can also able to split the SCL file by importing the whole content and target a specific ID. And these are the overall information related to the typical setup that you can able to understand where you can able to fit IEDScout. And then let's go to the different sections. The start screen, which we can see in the other screen in the main window, start with OpenSCL, discover, simulate an ID, sniffer, configuration, switch device. The top level informations are explained here very well. We could able to import the different type of SCL files, the system specification files, system configuration description, and the system exchange description, the system specification files, also the IED specific files like IID, ICD, CID, related information can be imported. So you can able to see when we are opening the SCL files in the next step. And you can able to see other option functionality, the discover ID, simulate ID, configuration, and how we can able to start and use the different functionality that are available in the IEDScout software application. When you're working with IED, it's very important to know the different navigation pans, the IED navigation pan, also the detail screen, then the sniffer window, also the activity monitors, that we can able to use it for exporting the signal, and you can able to focus on a specific signal that you are testing it. And then you can able to go to the browser section. There is a dedicated function where you can able to use as a client application. You can able to visualize the SCL file in offline, and different categorize option for imported SCL files relevant to the different applications, services, and you can able to enable the different windows. So these are the important information when you're simulating an IED. The simulator section can be really helpful, and which port number or default use for MMS 102 port and file transfer also supported by IEDScout when you're having the real IDs with you. Then the services and configure Goose information, GCB attributes can be editable when you're simulating, and the sniffer tool can able to capture the traffic related to MMS and Goose, and you can able to analyze the information when you are using IEDScout for testing purpose. You can able to export and import the captured information that you are testing as a test report, and the message can be filtered very well. Then the status history, which is also very useful, and the glossary, the terms and definition, which are often used within the IEDScout. And most importantly, the icon overviews. So you can able to see the different icons relevant to the normal goose and simulated goose, and different type of report control blocks like the static report and the dynamic report control block, the data set, also the normal reports and the unbuffered and buffer report control blocks, and the report is reserved and setting group data set. Different categorized function and the different icons can be seen here, so that you can able to save some time before when you know this information, and you can also even come back whenever you need more information to get the insights about the different icons that are available in the IED Scout when you are using for testing purpose. So there's many information you can able to learn in offline itself, and you can also see the different modes that are supported by the 620 based IEDs, and what are the different use cases and application when you have the real ID, and the ID works with the normal mode, and you can able to apply the test sets like IED Scout and CMC for enabling the simulation or test bit when you are working with the real environment. And what are the different use cases that you can able to also see. So these are the information you can able to get from the help section. Let's go to the main screen. So here you can able to see the first one is OpenSCL, and here you can able to start in offline when you activate the IED Scout license, trial also the permanent license, and the switch device enabled in the top right. You can able to see in the middle, from PC to another dedicated test sets. I can able to switch the license, and then the configuration icon enable you to choose the right network adapter that are available on your PC if you are using PC license. If you are using the hardware test set, you can able to choose the station ports for the MBX1, also the RBX1. You can also able to see the client server communication goes to the first adapter that you choose. In case if you would like to have the dedicated adapter for mirror port, or if you wanted to collect the information that are discovered or sent as a request from IED Scout, you can also use the same adapter that you connect to the station network from your PC. Also, you can able to use dedicated network adapter when you wanted to do the mirror port configuration used for diagnostic purpose. And the application where you can able to have the support of localization. At the moment, we support English and Dutch, and can able to flexibly choose here, and the time format can also be flexibly choosable from local time to UTC time. And the control status value polling, by default we enable it to make sure when we are sending the control command, we also poll the value to bring the latest information for the control command. And the license information is gettable from this level, and if you are activating the IED Scout trial license, you can also able to see the remaining days, how much time you have, and you can also able to activate once you get the license by selecting the manage license option. You can able to paste the license here, and you can able to just press activate button. And to do this activity, you need an internet access so that it connects to the Omicron license server to apply the license. And whenever you apply the IED Scout PC license, it's a lifetime license. That means it never expires, and you get the free updates that are released for IED Scout is always applicable for your IED Scout PC license. That means there is no subscription. You can able to get all the free updates for free of cost from our Omicron customer portal. And you can able to flexibly share the license within your team, and then you can able to move the license. You can able to copy the license and deactivate, and then give the license to another colleague, and you can able to activate when there is an emergency situation to test another functionality from different user. And you can also able to deactivate from other PC and activate from another PC within the organization. And to perform the switching of license from one PC to another PC, you need an internet access on your PC. So you can able to flexibly manage the IED Scout license that are available on the PC that you have for your company or single user. And you can able to just cancel at this moment. You can also get the help section from the specific window. And next is the sniffer window, and from sniffer you can able to import the imported import option of the pickup files that you capture for the different traffic. So I will start from the OpenSCL. So OpenSCL, let me import one of the SCD file. You can basically import all different SCL files at this level. So you may having the question that where you can able to get the SCL file. If you're a beginner, you can able to use different IED configuration tool. For example, most of the IED configuration tools are available for free of cost from the different manufacturers like Hitachi Energy. You can able to download from the software automation library. It's completely free. And for MyCom S1 Agile, you can also able to register and download the MyCom S1 Agile software application. Similarly for eSurgy, for Snyder, you can able to download, and Cell Architect can also download, and you can also use the trial version of Dixie. Everything is free. You can able to download the Enervista for free. And once you download all this host application, you can able to download separately the device drivers, ID modules, data modules from the different configuration tool, and you can able to get the ICD files, and you can able to start designing the configuration. And you can even able to import the ICD file into IEDScout to know the capability with the proper description that you can able to enable and get the visibility about the different SCL content to learn as a beginner. So I'm opening an SCL file from MyCom supported IED, which is an addition to SCL model IED, and you can able to export the SCL file. If you're a MyCom IED users and for a PCM 600 IED user, you can able to see the different data sets for Goose or different data set for client server, and the process bus connection for the sample value supported IED. You can able to export the whole information as a SCD file by selecting the substation section. There you can able to export the SCL file. For example, I will export the SCD file and able to flexibly choose the SCL edition, and the IEDScout support the maximum edition which are available at the moment. And you can able to just say export, and I will just save the location so that I can provide the allocation into IEDScout. So here I can able to see sorry, I exported the CD file, and there you can able to just import, and you can able to see so many IED informations are available in the CD file, which are available basically in the PCM plan structure. And you can able to select everything. You can able to flexibly choose just a specific IED. You can able to say okay here. The informations are getting imported at the moment. There you can able to see the information whenever you do anything here in the IEDScout, and you can able to see the information which are getting imported. Some of the IEDs are still getting loaded to the IEDScout. You can able to flexibly choose a specific IED for your configuration. Depending on the IED that you choose, for example, in this case, I have chosen one of the protection control IED, and this particular IED have the goose control block defined in the IED configuration tool, and you can also see the history also getting updated. The SCL file has been loaded, and there are some information. You can also copy and open in the notepad file for extra information. And there you can also able to expand in detail about the different information that you select in the IED navigation pane in the left side that you see. By default, the IEDScout used to categorize the different functionality to simplify your testing activity, or to get the information offline. We just import the SCD file, and then or the specific IED configuration files. Can able to choose the specific configuration. For example, this is a goose control block. Can able to see what are the definition that is defining the goose control block, and which data set has been connected, and the data object and the data attributes that are belong to the specific goose control block. Also, you can able to expand the report, and then this particular IED have so many different type of buffer repo control block with a book icon. You can able to see these are the buffer repo control block, and some of them are unbuffered. Those are having the magnitude information, the analog data. You can able to select the report control block and get the visibility in the right side detail section, and you can able to just even drag and drop any signal into the right side activity monitor. For example, let us choose one of the values here. So let us choose one of the position information. So this is one of the isolated status information, the position, and this is belong to the report control block. And you can also see the report is not activated because we are working in offline. You can able to flexibly choose specific information, and this particular SEL file has the setting group control block support, and you can able to see maximum number of setting groups supported and enable 6, and you can also have the option to get the visibility on the different setting group information. You can able to flexibly choose when you are working with the real ID. In offline, you get the visibility of the different setting group analog setting value supported logical node and the data attribute. And in the dataset that are configured for this specific IED, there are so many datasets that you can able to see in the different IED configuration tool. The same thing you can able to see here as well. Maybe it is having the information about the protection, control, automation, or the measurement information. The dataset you can able to see it here. And the data model, which is very important, that you can able to get the visibility here. So you can able to choose the logical node that you can able to understand its source based on the 61857-4, and the tooltip shows you the revision 2007, which is edition 2, and you can also able to import the edition 1 IEDs, and you can able to see 2003 either for edition 1 SCL file format. And you can able to get the clarity on the top level, which are defined in the ICD or different type of SCL files, the hierarchy based on 620 standard, the physical IED, and the logical devices that are grouped based on the different functionality. And the logical device have many different logical nodes depending on the function. Basically, the logical nodes represent the different functions. It may be a function to represent the physical apparatus, the assets like circuit breaker, isolator, switches, and controllable logical nodes, and the interlock logical node that you can able to see in the controllable control logical device. That you can able to go to the circuit breaker. XCBR is a logical node to represent the circuit breaker status information. That you can able to explore the position to get more insights. For example, here you can able to see name and value. So it's always important to enable the description when you are working with IED Scout to get more insights. So here you can able to see it's a switch status or position of the circuit breaker. This is the data object, and this is the state value. And the quality and timestamp you can able to even expand in offline to get more insights. And the quality detail for the specific data attribute. So these are the information you can able to explore for double point status, and for controllable values you can able to just select the CSWI switch controller. There you can able to see the data object and then expand it. There you can able to see the can even able to expand. There you can able to see the control model. So the control model here for this particular logical node is supported with select before with enhanced security, and then you can see this one is status only because it is representing the position. So the control model is status only. This is how you can able to learn so many things in offline itself. For monitoring, can able to just expand the monitoring logical device. There you can able to see the CMMXU for the phase current information and which type of logical node and the common data classes. Basically, you can able to go to the complete hierarchy from the logical device, logical node, data objects, and specific data object has the data attribute. Those are the value, the magnitude and float values, and which type of um, support that are available is the float value or complex measured value, the common data classes, and how it is structured. Everything you can able to get from the tooltip that you select from the different section. You can able to even select the specific control block from the IED navigation menu. Wherever you select, and in the middle you can able to see the details screen, and in the right side you can able to just drag and drop the different data. And here you can able to just save an SCL file. We have imported the whole SED file that has so many information. You can able to just split those SCL file into individual ID specific files, so we can see its addition to SCL schema, and we can able to save an SCL file into individual ID description, individual ID description file format. We can able to flexibly choose the different file format here. And you can able to even select the ID property to change the ID name, and if you have small changes in the ID configuration tool in the real ID, you can able to change it and edit it. You can able to save and connect to the real ID. And changing the IP address is also possible. The advanced option also available in case if you are using proxy ID where you have the host and connecting multiple IDs. And there you can able to see subscribe goose. If you are using the real ID to publish or simulating the goose message, you can able to select the subscribe goose to get the subscription status of the published goose. And simulate an option, you can able to move the selected ID to the simulator section by just enabling the simulate option. The content of the ID which we selected in the browser section will be copied to the simulator section. And coming back to here, and you can able to select a specific detail. Then you can able to here you can able to just export the information that are available in the activity monitor. And then you can able to just select here the control block of the RCB. You can able to just copy and then paste it into Notepad. When there is a requirement, you can able to just use the report control block or specific LN. There are so many different options available. And setting groups you can already see already. You have seen already. And then here you can able to see navigation. You can able to just uncheck if you don't need any ID navigation menu. If you want to focus on, if you don't want to see the detail screen, you can able to uncheck and monitor. You can able to uncheck the activity monitor. So the flexibility is available if you want to focus on specific information. You can able to zoom in and zoom out, and then you can also see the output window. Whatever we have did, everything is available here. SED import and everything which we moved from the browser section to simulator. So all this information is available in the top level, and then after you see I moved the ID to the simulator section, there you can also able to see the visibility. There you can able to explore and try to change by simulating an ID. You can also able to select the configure goose option. You can able to edit the goose control block and can able to save the setting. You can able to stop simulating. And you can able to get the very good visibility by expanding the detail in with a good clarity. You can able to change the different quality, state values, and the data attribute, different data points. And setting group also flexibly enable and change from this level. On sniffer, you can able to import the specific captured file. For example, I will just import one of the captured file. You can able to just import any one of the pcap file. But this one collected from the Compass client, and I can able to see. And input is the SCL file. You need to also import the specific ID that you capture or the SED file, and you can able to flexibly pick the ID that you really need it. And there you can able to see the ID and the request response. So the CCompass is a client from the 83 IP address and 125 is the MMS server. So the MMS client sent a request to associate the MMS server, and the success is available here as the status. And next one is the request from the MMS client to get the server directory, and these are the logical device directory, and further it requests the nameplate details and it responds to the information, and there you can able to see the request and response very well, and you can also uncheck the protocol error, focus more on the request response, and it enables the report control block, also the trigger options, then general integration, and it goes for the data change, different trigger option based on that it receives the report, and you can able to use it for troubleshooting. You can able to flexibly uncheck and check the report and goes client server traffic, and only you can able to enable the reports. There you can able to get specific information, and you can also able to use the set time to focus on the specific event change. For example, if you want to know the time and details, you can able to set time from this particular selected message, how much extra time taken for the next message, the time information you can able to understand this level for the selected ID. You can able to flexibly choose and then explore the many different information from sniffer if you have captured already the information. So these are the top level offline experience or example that you can able to gain, and without connecting the IED Scout PC to the real network, you can also able to get many different benefits. I will cover that particular point in the next video, where you can able to know how to simulate an ID and how you can able to discover an ID without connecting your PC to the network to get more practice. So that there you can able to cover the different option that we have seen, the different category from the browser section, also the simulator section, so that we get real examples to get more practice. That's all in this video. In case if you face any problem, require more information, you can always contact Omicron technical support from the Omicron webpage. There you can able to get the right support from the different region from the Omicron support line. Based on your location, you can able to reach the technical support email address you can able to see, and we will be happy to support you to provide the right solution for your request. Thank you. Take care. Bye.